Hello again everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Coding with Kenny G. And this episode, which is our episode 29, we're going to implement a little bit more UI to tell our players that something happened. And in this case, we want to tell the players that somebody won. So let's start. So we have our game UI kind of ready to go here in the hierarchy. And here, when we select the canvas, we can create a UI panel. This guy is going to stretch out all the way across the entire screen, but we're going to have it like a centered sort of pop-up message, I think. I'm just finding my way here a little bit in the scene view below here. All right, first of all, let's not have it stretch. So it can be centered. Or maybe even better, it can be stretched in width all the way. And then we're going to drag this in by holding Alt and selecting the edge here. Let's see, how wide should this be? Yeah, or high, 500. Then select this again, hold Alt, press this so it's correctly positioned. Now here's the trick. A panel can just be a kind of layout container. We don't necessarily need this image. So if you wanna, it doesn't matter for this game, but if we don't want this background, but we do want something to follow this layout, we can just remove this component, the image, and also the renderer. There we go, but its transform and its boundaries are still in play. This could be, I'm going to rename the panel we just created to pop-up message layout. And it's a panel, layout panel. And under there, I'm going to add another panel. And this guy is going to stretch and be centered from the middle, but it's going to stretch all the way in height. And then I'm going to pull that guy in to maybe 1100 in width. Make sure it's centered and stretched. There we go. So the point is that then it follows its parent, like so, which is nice. That's why we use some layouts. And this is the actual message panel. Right, so I don't have any sprites for this, do I? Nah, we're just gonna have this in some sort of tinted thing. Yeah, let's just have this a little bit transparent because it looks cool. And yeah, let's just tint it a little bit. Ooh, no, that was no good. Let's just keep it white. Sorry. Okay. And for our layout, for our text, I'm just gonna create another panel under the message panel. I'm gonna let it stretch in width and be anchored to top. Then I'm gonna stretch this guy in, and it can be probably something like this, and that'll be let's say 350 in height. then I have to reposition like so. So this is the text layout panel, and I'm gonna duplicate this by holding Control pressing D, and then I get another panel which I'm gonna stretch all the way in width, and I'm gonna anchor it to bottom, and then I'm gonna drag this one down so it's like the bottom area, and I will call this buttons layout panel. Cool. For the text here, we're gonna add a text of Text Mesh Pro, and I think that we could just stretch this out across the entire thing, but then we're gonna align that to center, and yeah, I think we're gonna have two elements. We're gonna have like a title, so we're not gonna let it stretch. We're gonna let it be anchored to a top and stretch in width. Then we're gonna drag this guy up to be let's see, something that makes sense, 150 in height. So this is gonna be the title txt. So this is where we write victory or defeat if we need to. Duplicate that guy, and this guy, the duplicated one, is gonna be the message underscore txt, and this can be anchored to bottom and stretch out in width. I'm gonna drag this up to here, and the message text, I think we can let that be aligned to top of its layout container. So this would be the message we want to tell our players. Cool. Maybe keep it center aligned. Yeah, sure. Okay. So the title txt, I think that should be rather big. So 36 times 2. There we go. Pretty large. Say victory. And I'm just gonna do the whole prototyping thing right now. Just gonna make this quick and dirty. Congratulations, win to faction. The win condition was win condition. So we're just gonna assign this in code, right? Somehow, which is very simple to do. And in these buttons, yeah, just to have something to do right now. Yeah, something to teach as well. So the buttons layout panel, it's this lower area. And what we want here, maybe we want several buttons. We can manually place these guys out in positions, but let's just learn to do something. So in the buttons layout panel, we can assign, I'm just going to move this camera here. We can assign what's it called, layout group component. So horizontal layout group. There we go. And here's what's gonna happen when I add a button here and I duplicate it. Then they're gonna be positioned automatically from each other. That's cool, but we kind of want to make this make sense. So you have to do a few things in the buttons layout panel configuration. First of all, child alignment, maybe middle center, so they're gonna pop out from here and move items towards left and right, and kind of center everything automatically. Then we can let's add buttons here. Whoa, they did not like that. Okay, yeah, there we go. Cool. So something like that. And then this could be, for example, the restart game button. And this guy could be the exit to menu button. Just to have some examples in our UI here. So restart game, I'm just going to write in the text restart game. Reduce the font size a little bit, or we can increase the size. There we go. Cool. There we go. Exit to menu, exit to menu. So this will go back to our main menu, right? Something like that. We're going to implement that a little bit later, but the point is to just have something to go from. So the prototype, we start there, it's fast and dirty, then we clean stuff up. So a message panel is going to have its own component. So we're going to write that. In our scripts folder, we have a UI folder, and inside of there, we can write, or rather create, a new C# script called game UI message controller. Cool. Game UI message controller. Slap this component onto the message panel. I think we yeah, no, we need to put it on the pop-up message layout panel. So pop-up message layout panel. Yeah. So this guy owns kind of everything that happens below it. Okay, open a script. First of all, we have to be using TM Pro. Then a little header here, and inside of here we are going to write UI component references public TM Pro TMP underscore text, yeah, that's what it's called, message title txt, and then public TMP underscore text message text txt. I can just tooltip this guy. Tooltip the title of the title text component of the message panel, and for this guy, tooltip, I'm gonna write the message in the message panel. Cool. So this guy is gonna listen to on win condition met, and then we're gonna pop up this message on screen and tell our players what happened. We need another component as well. Up here we're just gonna write public game object, and this is the pop-up message panel. Tooltip it. The geo of the message panel activated when we display the pop-up panel. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. In region mono behavior callbacks, we say void on enable and void on disable. So that's where we put our event listeners. And I'm gonna create a event handler called private void on win condition met, and then it's gonna take in win conditions, win condition. So let's listen. So game controller dot on win condition met plus equals on win condition met. Desubscribe as well, always. There we go. So first of all, for now we're just gonna say that this will be based on the viewpoint of the player. So if you, the human player, is playing the attackers and the attackers won, it will be a victory message, right? But if you lost, then in your viewpoint you might say defeat. But for now, because we haven't started that whole thing yet, we're gonna do that a little bit later. For now, we're just gonna write victory. So we can assign message title text. For now, message title text dot text equals to victory, or yeah, victory. And then we're gonna say for now message text txt dot text is equal to, and then we're gonna write our own string first. So the win condition space and the string plus win condition dot toString plus new string space was met. This is very simple for now, but it just tells us tells the player that we have a structure going on. We need to clean this up and make everything better. This line of text is also going to look a little bit stupid, so we probably want to parse that. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that right now, but we're gonna, this is one of those things we can clean up later. But before we even say any of these guys, we need to enable that pop-up message panel. So pop-up message panel dot set active to true. Cool. Go back into Unity. This entire ugly panel is gonna be disabled by default. We have to assign the references. Pop-up message panel, the message title, which is a title txt, a message text. There we go. So these guys are assigned, and then the message panel is going to be set active to false, but this guy is enabled, the pop-up message panel, or rather the layout panel. But that should be it. Let's see if we can't make this work. So we're just gonna win with the defenders here. And there we go. Cool. Like I said, this is gonna be pretty ugly, but we can parse and make everything look cool and shiny later, right? But there are a few logical things that we could do, which would be good for us to make a game kind of fluent. We could restart the game, and we could exit to main menu. We haven't created that yet, but maybe we could restart our game. And that is just actually a very simple function inside the game controller, which we should be able to call and just reset the formation to spawn again. Spawn it again, start the game again, everything. Maybe we can do that in this episode. Let's see. We're running a little bit over time, so I'm gonna stop it there. But for the next episode, we're gonna do just that. So we have a little bit of fluency going on here. But thank you for watching so far, and I'll see you in the next one.